Okay, first off, uh, great win for the Jackets. Want to give a great shout out to the crowd who has just done a great job all year long, even during our times where, obviously it's been a tough season, but they've just been outstanding. The crowd from start to finish, from the beginning of the year to the end. Really happy that we were able to get a win for the crowd on senior day and happy to get a win for the seniors. Um, and But the crowd's been outstanding all season long, absolutely outstanding all season long. So really was just want to give a tremendous, high five, bear hug, fist pump to Yellow Jacket Nation, to the students. Just, they've been outstanding, and even through a tough season this season, they've never wavered. So I just tremendous gratitude and appreciation to them. Two, I think Boston College is a good basketball team. He does a very good job. Coach Grant, well coached, and they've got a lot of good players. So it was a good basketball game, and it was a good win for us. I think we've been like 1 win, 7 losses coming in the game on 1 to 2 possession games, and I thought, goodness, man, I was just going to be just another one of those deals. But we were able to hold on, got a great stop into regulation defensively. And, we got up 15 again. Mike got that foul. We got a little bit of a scoring drought again, unfortunately. But it's just one of those things. That's what happens. That's kind of been who we've been this year. But we found a way to get a win in a situation where the lead, evaporated for us. And just one of those things where the momentum shifted. But we found a way to get it done. Jordan Usher had 30 points, 5 assists, 8 rebounds. Michael DeVoe, 18 points on 13 shots and had 8 boards. Kyle took a big-time charge. That was really important. And I thought Miles Kelly gave us great minutes. Jalen hit a big 3. Debo hit that big pull-up. And Rodney, he didn't have one of his best games, but he did some good things. And Khalid had a really good first half for us. So everyone contributed. We shot 57% from the field and 43 from 3. Our issues was our free throws tonight or this afternoon and our turnovers. But that's been an issue with us. Not as much the free throws, but the turnovers. That being said, it was great to get a win and give us some momentum heading into next week. I've said it. Unfortunately, the wins haven't showed up. But we've gotten better. It's just we just don't have the wins to show for it. We've gotten better, and then I think losing Davon really hurt us at the stretch. I mean, obviously, not having Parham this whole year has been hard for us. But losing Davon Smith in this stretch, puts a lot of pressure on not having another guard there, and the way he was playing. He was really turning the corner for us, and even his individual game. But he's we probably wouldn't have won Notre Dame. Obviously, we were winning today, but out of Syracuse, Virginia Tech, and Clemson, you might have won at least 1, maybe 2, and maybe all 3. But that's just the way the year has gone. And as I've always said, this part of being good in this league, you've got to stay healthy. Being healthy is really important. And the teams that have done really well, are the ones who, for the most part, have stayed really healthy for their key guys. And unfortunately, we've been hit with some injury bugs this year. The other thing is, defensively, and one thing about our guys, they always play hard. Really not having that shot blocker in the middle really makes a big difference. And that's something that we have to develop through our current guys. Now, Jordan Mecca's done some good things on shot blocking, but that's something that either we got to develop or attract within the recruiting piece, and because that really makes a big difference defensively. And for the first 5 years, we've had an elite shot blocker in the middle. So obviously, not having that this year was glaring. From my chair, but guys got better, and got a great opportunity for us on Tuesday. I assume we're going to play Louisville. The way it looks like, I think we're going to end up playing Louisville. So that's what it looks like from everything based on the scores right now, we'll end up playing Louisville, and we'll have to be ready to go. And obviously, we haven't played them in a while because we played them right coming after COVID. So we'll have to get, watch the film and get ready to play them on Tuesday.
You talked about being short at guard. Miles Kelly really stepped up. He's really matured. At one point, he was in the game without DeVoe or Sturdivant and did a nice job of protecting the ball, bringing the ball up court, and hitting some key shots also.
Yeah, I think Miles, our freshman, I really like our freshmen a lot. I really like our young guys. We got good young players. And Rodney's gotten better, and Kyle's gotten better. Kyle's played a lot of minutes. And I felt Davon was starting to turn the corner, starting to really play at a high level, and unfortunately the injury. But we've got a really good nucleus, and we've got to do a great job in the spring to build on that nucleus. And Miles gave us really good minutes tonight and hit some big shots for us. But the reason he's playing really well is because he's at a high level right now. He's really guarding at a high level. I thought the young lady who sang the national anthem was outstanding. I don't know her name, but she did a great job to start the game. And our band has always done a good job. Our band does such a good job as well too. But yeah, the young lady that sung the national anthem was really good. And then I saw Shane Kimbrough, who's an astronaut, who's in outer space, and I grabbed him and I said, of course I gave him a big hug, and he's a hero. To be able to go up in outer space, and I've asked him. I really wanted to ask him. I didn't want to ask him today because it was too much energy. I want to ask him, do you believe in aliens? Like, do you believe in extraterrestrial life? Like, have you seen? Honestly, I wanted to ask him that, but I didn't know if today was right because it was just a tough time. Because have you seen anything? Do you think there's other life out there, being up there? But I did tell him. I was like, hey, I think being an astronaut, I think being a coach is more stressful than being an astronaut. He laughed, and but maybe I'll get him another time. I really just asked him about because it's really interesting about Roswell, New Mexico, back in whenever that was, when they talked about that, and Area 51. You've seen stories about that, and I've always said these flying saucers, and they can't get better. If there was UFOs. Can they get, because always the photography is not real clear. So I would think he would be a great person to ask about extraterrestrial life, and so he's a real hero, and he's a Georgia Tech grad, and God bless Shane Kimbrough. God bless Yellow Jacket Nation and Georgia Tech for having people that can go to outer space. Think about it. Georgia Tech discovered water on Mars. That's how amazing Georgia Tech is, and our players to be able to graduate from Georgia Tech, just those 4 seniors really special to graduate like that. So but it's a good win, and we're ready to play on Tuesday. Yep.
Obviously, for one, I realize I think you watch a lot of History Channel or whatever in your hotel on the road because you talk about ancient aliens or whatever. It's clearly.
No, I've always been interested in. Yeah, I've always been interested in extraterrestrial. Is it out there? It's a good question. Is it out there? And I'm not a scientist, so you've got to ask. Like, you ever seen the movie? I forget the movie. Where's what's her name? But they burst her through a time zone thing. What's it? And they had all those the Contact. Is that a real place? Is there a real spot of Contact like that in California? I don't know if there is. I won't go in the whole movie thing, but yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Contact's with Jodie Foster, and she was amazing in Hannibal Lecter. Jodie, what's that? Silence of the Lambs. Jodie Foster's an amazing actress. She's incredible. And who played Hannibal Lecter? What's his name again? He's such an amazing actor. And then just off the top of my mind, the guy in what's the guy when they do the thing in San Francisco with the Alcatraz, The Rock. Sean, he's amazing too, but he recently passed away, I think. Oh, God rest his soul. He was such an amazing actor too. Yeah, go ahead.
Back to basketball real quick. Obviously, Mike getting his 4th foul was huge. That was kind of the swing point of the game. They were going a 12-0 run, and you sat Kyle for during some of that. Was he just tired? And you guys had, I think, 6 turnovers during that stretch.
Yeah, well, I felt we were gonna looking back at it, I should have just probably kept Kyle in there. But that's where I go back to Kelly not having Dave on really just hurts us on that because I felt he was getting tired a little bit, Kyle, and I felt in Clemson I was just playing him a lot, and he got tired towards the end, and I was like, and that hurt us because we needed a fresh Kyle. But then I had him out, and we were just struggling because we just didn't have the other point at that time. And but then I had to get Kyle back in. But then at that time, the momentum had shifted, and not having Mike in as well too. They were able to make some threes, and they got going, especially inside. But we were having those turnovers, and we just didn't get shots at the rim was a big deal. Go ahead, Rod.
At that same subject, during that stretch, it seemed like Miles stopped bringing the ball up court, and Khalid was the one that was bringing the ball up.
We were just trying different things. And Miles did a fine job, and we were just trying different, because with Mike, I was concerned even when he went in about him bringing it up because he had the 4 fouls, and I didn't want him to get a push off, something silly in the backcourt, and so you got to be careful about that. So I was trying Miles, and he was fine, but then they were on Miles, and we tried to have Khalid. We're just trying different things just to get ourselves orchestrated into our offense.
Would it be fair to say your team was tensing up a little bit when they had a couple of rebounds, a lot of turnovers? What did you
I really blame this one on you, Ken, because you keep asking me that. Is there something do they just feel like you keep asking that in the post game about, do they feel like attitude-wise, is this, here it comes again, so like you jinxed us on that or something, but no, yeah, I think there was a little tightness because, Ken, we've lost, how many games have we just lost? I look back, whatever we won before today's game, we were 1-7 in 1 possession or 2 possession games, and then you don't even include that, like the LSU were up 19, or you're up, you're beating these other teams, you're up on these other teams, and you lose the lead, and so it doesn't become 1 to 2 possessions. I mean, it's just, and I told our guys last night, just if we were able to be 5-3 in those, we might be talking about a bubble team playing for the tournament, and I mean, it's just that fine of a line of a margin. And that's where this year has been. It's not been a game of inches. It's been a game of centimeters for us, and that's been the final. It's not like we're getting blown out. I mean, we just had these years. This year, the ball has not gone our way. We've had you think about, and we've been fortunate even in the Georgia State game and the Georgia Southern game. We were able to pull those out. But there's been so many where we've lost at the end of that last possession. And I think it's more than 7. I think it might be 9. And then that doesn't include the leads that we had in games where it becomes more, and our whole year could have just been shifted. But that's the fine line of everything. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I've said that last year after Clemson. You remember when the guy hit the backboard, and then the very next game he played Pittsburgh, and they hit a shot at the end of the half off the backboard. And I just yelled to everyone in the back there, I hate the backboard. That one, he didn't hit the back. I think he hit the rim, and it ricocheted, but I don't know. Maybe Shane Kimbrough's energy allowed the ball to go right to Rodney Howard instead of ricocheting back to the other way. I don't know. Maybe Kyle at that time, there's extraterrestrial beaming down or something and moved the ball. I don't know. But when that thing hit the rim and it landed in Rodney's hands, I was like, yeah, God bless the United States of America. That's what I was thinking. I mean, because what I was thinking literally could have ricocheted and gone right into, and because he was wide, we ran our play and he was wide open. He just, and I wanted to give an outlet, and we just needed to get it in at the time, and it just ricocheted. But anyway, because we were running to get the ball to him, and Kyle come right back for the handoff, because the way they were playing it, they were going to leave him open, and Kyle come back and put Kyle on the free throw line. But, fortunately, everything worked itself out.
Coach, with one exception I can recall this season, your team played hard every game,
Yep.
every minute, including today. Is that the team? Is that you? How do you draw that out of them?
Yeah, no.
Tough finishes.
Yeah, no. And that's one thing about us, other than that NC State game, as you're talking about especially that first half, we were just, that was unexplainable. But other than that, the guys, even though we got deficiencies, within our, just stuff that we can't, we've got to get better at, and we've got to get better at through development and through, recruiting. However, that being and coaching, I've got to do a better job in some areas. But one thing about this team is they play hard all the time, and it doesn't, even when we've lost all those close games, for a lot of people, for a lot of young people, it's easy to just go the other way and lay down and say that those guys have never laid down. They fight. It matters about the name on the front of the jersey. They know they're representing Georgia Tech. They take tremendous pride that their last name's on the back of the jersey, and to compete and to be a competitor. And I always tell the guys the best compliment you can get is to be called a competitor, an elite competitor. And so we've struggled this year with a win and loss record, unfortunately, and we've had a ball here, a bounce there, a thing here and a thing there. All of a sudden, like I said, we're probably sitting here talking, trying to play in the bubble for the tournament. That all being said, even through the toughness of this season, the guys have competed and played their butts off every single game. Other than that one game, they've been really, really good as in terms of their effort. And, that's a credit to our young men, shows who they are as character. I think it's a credit to Georgia Tech, because that's what the standard is at Georgia Tech. And, my job is just to make sure that we compete and play hard for Yellow Jacket Nation and to get better, obviously, in some things. And we got to win. But the baseline is the baseline. The standard is the standard of that we've got to compete and compete. And the things that we need to get better at are in some of the skill area to, that's something that I think we do a great job in, that we've got to really attack this offseason.
Josh, you talked about Jordan Mecca being a shot blocker. Were there any thoughts putting him in the game? It seemed like they were doing a good job of sneaking a guy in on the baseline.
Yeah,
Behind.
I was thinking about it. I was about to, but the reason I didn't wasn't because of Jordan Meck. I did it for offense, because I just felt like, are we better off going small? Because we were guarding the three for the most part. I just felt we needed a scoring. We went on that drought again. And the reason I didn't was only because of offensive reasons. It wasn't anything other than that.
Bush said that he's not letting his teammates on the plane if they don't pack their big
He said that right after the game. He went in there and says, "You pack. If anyone doesn't have a pack for all the way through Sunday, you can't be on the airplane. Do not come." So and he meant it. So God bless Jordan Usher. And it was better for him to say it than me. It's more impactful, and he's right. And listen, here's what I would tell you in the and young lady, did you have a question? Did you have your hand raised?
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to come back to you on that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
You mentioned that there were some areas that you yourself wanted to improve on with coaching. What specifically are those areas, and what are you doing to actually improve this topic going into?
I shouldn't have called on you. Yeah. Why did I call on you? I try and take Simmons' job of doing that. No, that's a fair question. Look, I think any time that you're, any position that you're in of whether you're a head coach, assistant coach, or anything in life, you want to improve and get better. I think it's dangerous if you think, hey, I've made it. I don't need to improve. How can we get better? So you're always constantly asking those questions. And doing a lot of self-reflecting. Obviously when the season's done and you're able to sit back and really go back and watch film, get with your staff. Like I've asked my staff to send me their ideas, thoughts, suggestions from this year. What can we do better? Where do we need to work on? What for all of us? So it's a continuous in life. You're continuing trying to get better, and so more so than just there's a lot of things. Not to bore everybody right now, but there's a lot of things I want to do in the off season that I think we need to be that we can really get better at. Yes, we got to recruit, and that's different than, but just as in terms of like exiting and owing and strategy and scheme, what are some things that we can continue to keep building on and trying to continue to be different and being a hard team to play against in this league, which I think we're hard. If you ask most people, we're hard to prepare for. So how do we stay, ahead of the curve on that? What can I do better? What can we do better? I'm obviously seek counsel from Mr. Stansberry and picking his brain. Obviously, our staff. I talk to a lot of other head coaches around the country, and I will visit some different guys, different coaches in the off season, just really picking their brains. So I think it's just as in life, you're continuing trying to get better, and that's important. And so that is something that we'll attack this off season, as we do in every off season. And to finish off, Kelly, you know, with what kind of what Jordan Usher said, you know, look, I understand it's a tall task. It's not easy to go win 5 games, but here's what I would tell you: basketball is a weird game. It's an incredible game. It's awesome, but it's a weird game, meaning that you play Tuesday. If you're fortunate to win Tuesday, the team you play Wednesday, the first time they'll be able to shoot on the floor will be in the pregame warmups. And you never know. And the team you're probably playing Wednesday, if you can get through Tuesday, is probably they're on the bubble for the tournament. There could be some tightness. We saw that last year with us with Miami. Thursday, the team you play, the first time they'll be able to shoot at the arena will be the first time they play on Thursday. Same thing. So you just don't know in the time, you know, so you can get hot. You know, what's different between football and basketball, obviously football, you got 11 and 11, and there's so many. Basketball is just it's a bounce here, a bounce there. 2 guys get hot. You know, it's just, you know, only have 5 guys on there, and a couple guys get really hot, and the other team just is not playing well, and you know, and it's a momentum. It's a rhythm, flow, energy, momentum. So I do believe we've got to go into that mentality. But in order to do that, Kelly, you've got to win the first game. You've got to win the first game. Then you can see what happens from there.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thanks, everybody.